I'm Mary Kang from Mug Publishing, and we're in our contemporary booth in Photoville 2017. In contemporary booth, we have 12 Korean photographers based on identity and Korean society. So we're gonna talk about our contemporary exhibition with Mary Kang here.
Hello.
And looking for here for it. So Mary, what did you get most impressed work in our booth?
So personally, I really like Insu Kim's work.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I feel that when I look at her portraits about Korean immigrants living in Japan, I can attest to their experience. I connect a lot with the woman who's in the photograph, for example, who's pregnant and she has Korean dolls next to her. Because I can tell how she seems very immersed into Japanese culture and society inevitably because she's living there. And I see that in her feature, like her face tells a lot of stories and her attire, just like her atmosphere in general. But it's really interesting to see how she seems to want to hold on to her roots and her Korean cultural identity with a lot of the objects that signify Korean culture. And I feel that I personally have the same experience living in America. So yeah, that, and also it's just really beautiful portrait. So I personally feel really intrigued by that one.
Yeah. See. So she's like a third generation of Korean Japanese. Grew up in Japan, and she thought that is kind of weird and interesting. That she kind of can't mingle together with her a cousin family of her father's side. When she got into Jeju Island to visit her father's as a cousin. So she thought that was if it's include connected with bloodlines or is because of a cultural reason, because she looked alike with her father a lot, but his father can mingle with his cousin which he never seen before, but she can't.
I see.
Yeah, so she thought that's interesting. So she kept going and started her series 사이에서 because of that.
I see.
So seems like you're interested in portrait photography.
So yeah.
And what else who you're interested in our booth again? One more.
I really feel connected also to Sunmin Lee's work about twin project.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that one's really intriguing how she talks about the parents kind of projecting their identity to their children. And in a lot of the portraits, they do look alike, even their way they're dressed. And just symbolically, I feel related to that in when I look at second generation Korean American family culture, how a lot of the parents impose their ideal lifestyle and education and career on their kids, and conflict evolves when it doesn't happen the way they want it to be, because it's you're my identity, you're my possession kind. But then I know there's blissful and pleasant part to trying to connect with your mom, your kids, but just not when it's to the extreme. But yeah, so that's really interesting in these portraits to see how much they look alike and also the atmosphere. But then also when I look at these portraits and just when I think about portraits in general as a photographer, I feel as a photographer myself, I maybe am doing the same thing when I'm taking portraits of other people. As a photographer, maybe I'm projecting my identity to them. So it's twinsies over there. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that all these inceptions of how you impose your identity to others.
So Sunmin Lee's work started from when her daughter was young, her daughter got into elementary school. She started to observe her daughter's ages girls and their mothers, how the mothers put their desire into their daughters. So like she put in the frame like all the other like this small like curtains or even socks, dolls and everything like show like mother's identity like through the daughters. So like they seems like actually twins. A lot of viewer like visitors actually seems are their sisters real twins like biological twins, but actually like some elite try to say like psychological way of twins through this photograph. So otherwise than portrait work, like we have like a lot of like not portrait work too. So any photographer are you interested in?
I actually really I was really drawn to Song Myung Kim's works also, just because it's so pretty. And then I read more about it, and the more I read these photos, it's really interesting in terms of what he says about building empathy among the strangers and people in the city. And I can kind of see how, and he said he was like comforted by the moonlight, and it's interesting to see all the lights inside the apartment buildings and houses, and how he feels connected to the people under the same moonlight and like other people with like artificial lights, I guess. And yeah, it's interesting to me because like I see a lot of apartment buildings, just like the forest of apartments, and how he can feel connection to whoever's living there. And especially with like the thought of apartment, like there's like a word apart in apartment, and everyone's apart. And that's how he feels connected from far away, like just seeing these lights under the landscape of moonlight. And I don't know, just like growing up as a 1.5 generation Korean American, I kind of like jokingly felt like that too, because I just really longed for my childhood in Korea at the time. And just like looking at the sun or like moon, I would just kind of feel like, oh, like we're all like living under the same moon, like we're looking at the same moon, like all my relatives and friends back home in Korea, and I would just feel connected somehow that way. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, it's interesting to see how he relates the moonlight with the artificial lights shown in the photos.
So like his intention of like what like visitors like to see his photo is that too, like because the name of like the series is comforting lights. So like the moonlights and like people's like living lights actually comfort him and like give some console the time. So like he wants visitor to like get like touched with the lights together, and it seems really beautiful because like it shows like the moon and like the village together, like that he meant to. So that is like a pretty like good looking photograph.
Yeah.
So I was talking with Mary about our contemporary booth. Like, how did you feel about it?
Interesting. No, I feel really connected, you guys. Yeah, I enjoy looking at this. I really I'm very big with the sense of nostalgia, and I really felt it viscerally. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I was Yuri and
Mary.
Mary, and thank you.
Thank you.